proportional reasoning and ratios. What is a ratio? Ratio is a comparison of two or more quantities that are measured with the same units. They can be represented in three different forms. You have colon form, so you see the little colon in between them, verbal form, which uses the word to, and fraction form, which obviously uses a fraction. Ratios do not have units, they do not have decimals, they do not have fractions. They should always be expressed in lowest terms, and they should always be expressed using whole numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we look at example 1, there are 20 students in a class. If there are 9 girls and 11 boys in a class, express the ratio of girls to boys in the class using A, colon form, B, verbal form, and C, fraction form. So let's get an idea of what exactly is being asked. We know there are 20 students in the class, 9 girls, 11 boys. We want to write a ratio of girls to boys using colon form, verbal form, fraction form. So let's underline what we're doing. We're doing a ratio of girls to boys, and in all three forms. The important thing to remember is we're going to start with girls to boys. So I'm going to write girls to boys in colon form. In verbal form, I'm going to put G to B. And in fraction form, I'm going to put G over B. That helps to reiterate for me that I'm looking for G to B and keep the order proper. Okay, because order does matter in a ratio. There are 9 girls, so I put a 9 before the colon, and 11 boys, so an 11 after. 9 before the word to for girls, 11 after for the boys, 9 in the numerator for the girls, 11 in the denominator for the boys. Girls always came first because the ratio was girls to boys. And again, when you go to copy the note, it's written a lot neater, or you can pause the video here and copy from here if that's what you're doing. Example 2, rewrite the ratio 1 hour to 20 minutes in lowest terms. So again, what are we asking for? We're asking for a ratio 1 hour to 20 minutes, lowest terms. So we're looking for a ratio. Interesting though, the units are different. Well, we know that can't happen. So we start with 1 hour to 20 minutes. Now what's easiest to change? Minutes to hours or hours to minutes? Because I don't quite have a full hour, I would say hours to minutes is easiest, and I know there are 60 minutes in an hour. So now my units are the same, and I can work to reduce the ratio. Or I can, and if it helps me, I can rewrite it at the start using, without the units. Now ratios always have to be expressed in lowest terms. So the greatest common factor, which would be the largest number I can divide both 60 and 20 by, is 20. So I'm going to divide both terms by 20. And 60 divided by 20 is 3. 20 divided by 20 is 1. And again, it's written neatly here. And you'll notice I could also have written it in fraction form. Example 3, rewrite the ratio 8 cents to $5 in lowest terms. So what am I doing? I'm writing a ratio 8 cents to $5 in lowest terms. I'm looking for a ratio. Oh, look at my units. Again, they're different. So I start with 8 cents to $5. And it's probably easier for me to change dollars to cents. And there's 100 pennies in a dollar, so $5 would be 500 pennies. And again, I can get rid of the units now because I've converted them to the same thing. The largest thing I can divide both of them by, if I want to write this in fraction form, it can be like that, and I can easily see I'm going to divide them both by 4, which leaves me 2 over 125. And again, I can rewrite it that way. Oops, we don't need that slide. And homework before tomorrow, pages 4 to 5, Introduction to Ratios, questions 1 to 4.